Ooh, baby, I like it raw. Wu-Tang Killer, the one killer bee, and he ain't for the kill now. Yeah, baby, I like it raw. Top that down, pass it all around. Shimmy, shimmy, y'all, shimmy, yeah, shimmy, yeah. Give me the mic so I can take it away.
This is when it gets serious. It's just raw.
Yeah, baby, I like it raw. I get Biggie Diggy raw.
Hello everyone, and welcome back to my channel. This is Lady Freedom here, coming at you with another raw narrative. Today is September 11th, 2024, and Sebastian Rogers has been missing for 199 days today. Now, Katie and Chris Proudfoot have 199 problems, but Betty ain't one. So we're going to get into that later on in the video. But first, I wanted to go over a couple of clips that I thought of as I was thinking back on the case, as I was thinking about this case with BHB and the Proudfeet in court. I was supposed to get this video out yesterday, but after I was looking at all of the clips and going over all of them, I really wanted to put a little bit more time into this video. Also, this has been going on for a very long time, this back and forth with the Feet and Seth and the internet trolls. People are people. We're all human. We are all going to have emotions. We are all going to have reactions. We are all going to have opinions. That is what makes us human, and that's what sets us apart from animals. So we're all going to do this, and as I said in my videos before, I welcome everyone's comments. Now, yesterday I did get an odd comment from a troll, and I know it was a troll from Cluminante's channel. I also know what the underhanded meaning was in it, so a little bit later on in the video, and I'll point it out, when Chris is threatening another woman, we know that he likes to threaten women, so he was threatening BHB when she was down in Tennessee, and he and Cluminante were talking about how much they love Tennessee. It was in reference to him running BHB over in his vehicle had she been in the middle of the street. He also referenced the Black Lives Matter movement and said that it was during that time that Tennessee passed a specific law allowing for people that are driving in cars to run down a pedestrian, which I don't think that he has the correct law there, nor do I care to look it up. It sounds absolutely ludicrous. But they were talking about how living in that small little area of Tennessee, and if people come there, that they should be worried. And I dealt with that when I moved to Missouri. I moved to Missouri when I was in my 20s. I had grown up somewhere completely different. And just coming into a community as an outsider is awkward, and especially when they're not friendly or inviting. I don't think everyone is that way in Tennessee. I've met some very nice people in Facebook communities that are absolutely awesome, friendly, welcoming, but they were referencing how they like this type of corruption, this good old boys system that's down there where anybody that lives there can do whatever they want. If somebody comes in from the outside, they're looking for trouble sort of mentality. And again, it's just crazy. Now, within this clip and around the time they're talking about the corruption that goes on in the area, Chris says, "Go Vols." And it's almost eerie, and I guess it's one of the teams that they root for there, for a sports team, but I guess they use it in a different way down there, as in go Vols, like go corruption. I don't know. But then it ended up in my comments when I posted on my community wall that I was dropping another video. I asked everybody why they thought that Chris was sporting the orange polo, and someone commented about it being go Vols. So I don't know if he was trying to intimidate by wearing that color. That's coming from someone commenting, but it's also something that I find very interesting. I know it was coming from one of Cluminante's followers because I know who follows her. I know who you guys are. But hey, if you all want to watch my videos, that's awesome. I'm very glad that you're following me as well. And for you little fuzzy trolls out there, I love you too. And as I said before, this nonsense has been going on for a very long time. And that's why I wanted to illustrate this to you. I wanted to demonstrate that this has been going on through the entire case. And if you get involved with the Sebastian Rogers case, unfortunately, the trolls are going to come for you from the people that do not want this young man to be found. And Terry Bowersox will follow, stalk, and harass your life. Chris and Katie Proudfoot will be all up in your comments and all up in your videos to see what you're saying about them. And there will be an overabundance of trolls. But there won't be any clues, there won't be any evidence, there won't be any truth, any sign or hide or hair of Sebastian Rogers. There's going to be lots of drama. There's going to be lots of crap going on every single day coming from all over the internet. And if Chris is going to wear a Go Vols orange, why doesn't he wear some green for Sebastian? Alright guys, let's watch.
I'm going to share a clip with all of you of a very strange encounter we had in the neighborhood of Katie and Christopher Proudfoot, the same neighborhood where the Proudfoots claim Sebastian Rogers went missing. 15-year-old Sebastian Rogers was reported missing during the early morning hours of February 26, 2024. It's still a mystery. It's been over a month now. He has still not been found. We've been canvassing the neighborhood, looking around the area for Sebastian. And we had an encounter the other day, going past the Proudfoot's home, and there was a strange car in the driveway that was pulling out. And then this car chased me around the neighborhood and was stalking my movements until I actually drove up and the car went around me and an individual got out and started taking pictures of me and my license plate. I'm going to show you this encounter and then we will further discuss. Check it out. Where's Sebastian, do you know?
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, JLR Investigates. We're out here covering the case of missing Sebastian. Do you know where Sebastian is? Hello, sir. I know that you just came out of the Proudfoot's home. Do you know where Sebastian is? Alright, so we got some car chasing me. And I'm on a public road. So we'll see. We'll see. So what in the world's going on here? Who is that? Well, my sources tell me those two individuals in the vehicle, one was a female driving, another was a man that got out. Those are Christopher Proudfoot's parents. What were they doing at the house? Considering, ladies and gentlemen, that the Proudfoots have more or less claimed they fled their home while Sebastian is missing. What are they doing there? Well, that encounter, ladies and gentlemen, we reported it to the TBI, because anything that you see suspicious, you should report to the TBI. Very strange, but other people also claim those two individuals in that vehicle has also chased them around the neighborhood and followed them. You can almost say stalked them. It's weird stuff going on.
60 days. And still zero sign, no clues, no nothing. People are still getting followed out here in these streets. I guarantee you. Remember a couple weeks ago? Even Seth said it out loud. There are volunteers, there, even himself, that are still getting followed out here. You tell me they just stopped that? People aren't following? People aren't following Seth and his volunteers and maybe his PIs and whatnot? You really don't think? You really think they just stopped? They're dedicating their time and effort to try to find Sebastian. But again, something fishy is going on. Another group are bowing out of searching for Sebastian. Let's take a look at this. Take a look at this. Of course, it says, due to misinformation and safety concerns, me and my YouTube friends, CJ and Narked Divers, will no longer be searching for Sebastian Rogers. Now, CJ, if I'm correct, CJ is the one who was on the show, last week, if I'm correct. Again, not throwing any shade towards anybody. I'm just curious as to what is going on where they are now not there anymore. Narked Divers will no longer be searching for Seth Rogers as well. I'm wondering why. All leads from this point forward, should be sent to the PIs or the local or the law enforcement. Sorry, but our safety has to come first. It was the Cajun Navy, then it was the Uvalde Foundation for Kids, and then now we're hearing these other content creators as well. They're not only just search and rescue organizations, but content creators are now sitting away or walking away. When I hear about other organizations that are out here trying to find, like I said, does this mean something is clearly something is up? And it's not anything sinister within these guys, within these organizations and these content creators. They're getting spooked. That's clearly what's going on. Unless they're literally being put on a wild goose chase and they're going, what's the point? Due to misinformation. Are they getting followed? Are they getting threatened as well? Remember, Cajun Navy, the very beginning, they're like gung-ho, we're going down there, we're going to find Sebastian, right? And everyone's like, yeah, find Sebastian. And then all of a sudden, they bow out. Due to threats, etc. We have to walk away. What kind of threats were they getting, though? And are these guys getting the same threats as well? No shade at these content creators, none at all, okay? None. I'm just curious as to what happened here. Were there threats? Not only maybe legal threats, or were there actual threats that were going on here that would inspire 3, if I'm correct, 3 me and my YouTube friends, so 3 different groups have uprooted and left. That's scary. It sounds like somebody's out here not wanting these 3 groups and all the other groups that were involved. Seems like they don't want them to search. Seems like they don't want them to find Sebastian. If people are literally saying this kind of stuff, something is rotten in Denmark. That's what I think. I think something deeper is going on. And they're probably trying to scare these guys out of the town. We have seen a pattern over and over and over again. It's been one thing after another, after the other, after the other. Something's not right here. These guys were out here doing good work. From what I saw, you got to remember, we saw a video from Narked Divers where they were having a conversation with Chris Proudfoot. Him giving him all kinds of information. Now I'm curious, were they still having conversations with Chris Proudfoot and that information was just taking him on a wild goose chase? That's crazy. But then on top of it, it says safety concerns.
Well, here's you a better one. There was the dispatcher. The call got released from the dispatchers to the deputies and the responding units. In that release of information, you can clearly hear the dispatcher and the cops all say, the dog's got to send this over here at this pond.
Okay.
And I mean, for people to say, no, it didn't. Now you're bullshit because
yeah, and that's what
deputies said that shit in the dispatch.
Track back up, going into the construction site over here back towards the beach. That's the one behind you. It's awful muddy. Do you see any footprints, anything? You shouldn't have any shoes on. Dang it, this is all dry, hard packed. I do have some footprints over here. Right there where you're standing? Yeah, leading right over here to the retaining pond. No shoes, just footprints. My shoes, Max went straight into the pond. Max led me straight to the retaining pond. We're behind Willow Boulevard. He dove right into the water.
yeah, do you see any footprints around it?
There was a few footprints in some of the softer dirt headed straight this way on the track that he was running.
1247, what kind of shoes does he wear? Size 10s.
Yeah, and then, like I said, the path that they tracked. So, ours, if you're in that subdivision, directly, the next subdivision over to the left is our subdivision.
Okay.
It's called Victoria Place.
Okay.
The set that they got, as soon as you turn in our subdivision, you're on Keller. Driving all the way up to the very top of the hill at a four-way, you'll see that to the right, they're cutting in a new road that will link
all this together.
Okay. Yeah. And the detention point.
And do you know how much they actually drained?
They drained the whole thing.
It's okay.
So initially, when they went over to look at it, it was only knee deep. From the picture that you showed me, there's a lot of new runoff. I'm 5'9", and it was knee deep.
Okay.
So and they even drained it and still walked it.
Okay. So they actually walked it. I didn't know that.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And that is actually information that was told to me by law enforcement.
Yeah. So they actually
because I went on me and law enforcement, they could put me in a vehicle.
Right.
Drove me around and showed me a bunch of stuff. I'm the only one that they got on.
Okay.
So I can actually give you a little bit more information than what everybody's out there running their mouth.
Yeah.
No, I'm not going to. So to work backwards from the pond, okay, if you were to walk from the pond, go straight up into the construction site, you'll see where they cut the road and it turns left. If you walk that all the way back, it runs you to our subdivision.
Okay.
If you go down Kelly, all the way down to Stafford, and walk down towards Stafford toward our house, from our house, if you're looking at my house, I'm going to tell you where the dogs then went. They started on the front porch.
Okay.
Because off the front porch, the dogs cut to the right. They go all the way down the side of the house along the fence.
So they went to the back side, or that
right
to the north.
If you're looking at my house,
okay,
it's going to be the right hand side. The dog goes all the way down the fence. The dog comes all the way back up into the yard, and then it cuts diagonally to the house next door to us through their backyard. And that is the direction which the dogs take off. Now after that, that's where they get over to the main road, go up Kellen, and head over to the other subdivision.
Okay.
There was a Belgian Malinois, a blue healer, 2 bloodhounds, and a blue tick. In the 8 days of the variance in searching, in the 8 days, on day 1, the 5 dogs did that. Out of the 8 days, 3 different dogs from 3 different groups went to that same area in that same set. On day one, 2 of those dogs did the same path. And I'm pretty sure that was the Bloodhound and the Bluetooth.
It was probably a better dog.
Yeah, those 2 were probably the better ones. Now, the guy, man, I can't remember this guy. I called him Michael, but I think they call him Michelle.
Okay.
He's French. He's out of North Carolina, I believe, and he trained, he brought his dogs out, and one of his dogs did that same path. From what I was told, that's why I was like, well, there we go, folks. That's why out of all the dogs, there was at least 3 consistent hits that do that path. And there was a couple dogs, like one dog went over to Long Haul Pike and got there and he lost his scent. The rest of the dogs all picked up scents, but then they go in all different directions and they lose. Yeah, that guy I sent you his info, Ken Wagner.
Okay.
He's the EMA director for Summit County. He was the one, I guess, that was doing. He was responsible for the ground searching and the waterways and the caves and everything.
Okay.
I mean, if you can reach out to him, he can give you more details as far as like the water.
What's been covered?
Yeah, and the caves and stuff. He'll probably even show you, maybe, I don't know, but I would reach out to him and he will give you the best physical aspects of the search that took place. He's the one that was in charge of it.
Okay.
And I'm here this morning, and of course I'm going through some stuff, and somebody sent me this. It's about 10 minutes long. And it's very, very upsetting, but I want people to hear this. I'm going to wait for more people to come and chat this morning. We're going to chit chat. I'm going to say good morning to all of you because I want people to hear this. I want people to hear the threats that are being made. They're subtle threats, but threats nonetheless. And they're threats for my life. And I just want to remind you guys, I've never called anybody here. I've never threatened anybody while I was here. I've made sure I've maintained that I'm out here for a fact finding and a search effort. You know, I didn't bring a huge crew with me. I didn't bring a whole lot of things. I'm here to do my investigative work, which I'm allowed to do. I'd play this. Now, before I do this, I just want to put this on a point. I did report this, not only to Goodlettsville. I actually reported this straight to the major investigating this case.
And here's Proudfoot.
I noticed she said that guy she was in. I was saying it to water.
See, people are calling Chris. That's Chris. That's Chris. Chris.
Where she's at. And then on top of it, apparently she went.
That's Chris. Everybody's calling it out. They know it's Chris.
I understand like 20 people.
She's going to catch it. Cluminante's going to catch it.
I don't know. She's talking about her deleting messages, calling Chris out. But I want you guys to listen to what Chris is saying. It's coming up.
And start deleting their comments.
A true statistic, though. Why the fuck would you go down to a children's hospital? What kind of sick individual has to go to a children's hospital?
A sick individual that needs to follow a sick individual's steps because you keep lying to everybody about what you did and where you were, and you're injecting rumors into your own case so it can help you, so it screws up all of us, right? Well, I'm one of those people that fact find everything, Mr. Proudfoot, Mr. Chris, Crystal Clear Chris. Threaten me. Double dog dare you.
I can't explain what this lady does, nor do I want to try. Y'all just watch. Because I think she is honestly psychotic. You'll see her point. Start deleting them.
Checking people.
Agreed. I love how she stalks and harasses people, but literally tells people to stop doing that. How's she not got an open chat? Like, you know what I mean? I've seen her post 2 pictures in the last week of Katie and allegedly Chris's daughter. And who's taking these pictures for you? Like what?
Taking the pictures for me? I don't know who these people are. Never asked them to acquire photos. And as a matter of fact, went straight to social media and grabbed those. What? Boom, right? I don't know who they are. I'm doing research. So anything that's available at the time that I'm doing that research, I'm pulling.
Obviously, you need to talk about people inciting something, but you have obviously put out a call to your people to get the photos, and that's crazy. That is crazy.
But what you can't do is stalk them for that photo. But if you're out and they're in a public space, you're absolutely allowed to take it.
The worst part of this is he has a state law.
Here it is.
Why? She gonna start deleting his comments. It's gone through.
Start snapping photos of kids and people. There's also victims rights on these things. I mean, God only knows what families out there have to endure with this shit.
Look, she's deleting it. Agreed.
When she did a voice thing, she said she
deleted it. I think she.
Betty bitch.
I think she claims to be a paralegal.
Apparently, that's even worse.
Well, they're
Oh, at least he's got common sense, at least on this topic.
as in like what's legal and not legal.
Yeah.
Agreed.
That shit makes no sense.
Look, she's going to the comments looking for Chris Proudfoot.
I mean, she knows that Tennessee state law.
Here it is.
If she protests in the street, she can legally be ran over.
Keep listening. It gets a little worse than that.
Hiding comments.
Yeah. No, Tennessee passed a law back in the COVID shit, or the COVID, like BLM thing, or whatever. People standing on the interstates blocking the freeway. Tennessee passed the law that you get caught on the road, illegally be ran over.
No shit. I love Tennessee.
Just saying, the laws. Careful where you go.
Careful where you go. Tennessee laws. Careful where you go. Out of Chris Proudfoot's own mouth.
I mean, I am hot. Oh, look at that. We got signs. So got signs back there. Oh, just thought I'd share the love. Oh, hey, baby, how you doing? How you doing? How you doing, crystal clear? How you doing? How you doing? We got we peppered all the poles. We got all in front of the school. We got in front of the fire station. A whole mile and a half is done. All of these roads, all of these things. I can't. Right there we go. There we go. Now you guys got. Look at that. Beautiful signage. Beautiful signage all the way down. Even over here. Over on the other side of the road. I hit both sides of the road. Both sides of the road. You wouldn't know that a boy was missing from this community because there's no signage anywhere for this missing boy. Well, that changed today. That changed today. Now there's cameras all over this community. All over this community. There we go. Look. Oh. Let me just, let me turn this ever so slightly so you guys get the true meaning of these. Hopefully you guys can see. Go down the first. We'll be going up to them. Sorry. There they are. Boom. Look at this in front. Look at that. Nobody can miss that there's a boy missing. Look at that. We got signs everywhere. Boom. Now it actually looks like somebody's looking for a kid. I'm just saying. This is the community where this boy disappeared from. Literally disappeared from. There's one measly little sign in this entire community. It was disgusting. I wonder how these families would feel if their child went missing and this is the best that they got. Well, now Sebastian's got better. Sebastian's got better. Look at this. All up and down the whole entire street. All the way down. All the way down. Look at that. Looks like a boy went missing around here. Looks like a boy went missing down here. We're going to go down Stafford on my way out. I don't want to go down Stafford right now. Look at that. The only thing I didn't do is past, I think it's this other pole right up here. I didn't go up the hill yet. I may go do the back side of this community. It's hot as hell out here. And it was my choice to either do this or, see? It was either do this or go down Stafford first. And I wanted to go down as far as I could handle it, but I was getting tired and hot. So I did as far as I could go, and then I went down. See, people are doing their yard work, and I've already been rolling through here a couple times. I know it probably is annoying, but I'm harmless. I'm harmless. I also found out that this right here, this big truck right here, that was not there the night. I have confirmed that with about 10 people. That right there was not there. So you could drive right back there before. So this is the only last little bit I need to do, but it's too hot. It's getting too hot. It's 95 degrees out here, and I just spent 2.5 hours out here. All right, give me just a second. I've got to cover you guys up. I don't want that man's face being on camera. Okay, y'all. Sorry. There we go. So we got all these. It's right here from this post right here. That post down. This boy is going to be remembered, and his mom's going to see him, his mom and his dad, since they obviously don't know what happened to him, right? They should be happy that somebody's advocate for their son. So now it looks like somebody went missing around here. Now it looked like somebody went missing. Now anybody that comes and visits this community to visit a neighbor or, you know, a friend or whatever, now they'll be able to see that somebody's missing. Maybe ask some questions. Maybe they might have saw him. I don't know. I really don't know. All I know is I didn't see any signage. Nothing. Well, this whole community just about been peppered. So now everybody knows that Sebastian Rogers, he's a 15-year-old autistic child, is missing from this community. And we need to find him. We need to find him. Oh yeah, you'll love this one. Just to let you know, I stayed on public property, as you can see. Hi, Katie and Chris. It's nice to see you. There you go. There you go. Interesting. Parents live right there and couldn't get out here and do this bare minimum work for their child. This bare minimum work for their child. They couldn't muster that energy up for him. I wonder why. Kind of makes you wonder a little bit, doesn't it? Makes you wonder how a mother can't do this for their child. Why it takes a woman coming in from Florida to help this community out. Look at those. Oh, it's not done there. We got Enoch too. We hit Enoch too. I hope this is how Bullhorn Betty throws her temper tantrum. Right here. Look at that. Boom. Guess what? We got a kid missing from this community. Imagine that. Imagine that. So I'll go somewhere. I'm trying to get somewhere. Apparently my hotspot can only handle one phone at a time, and the internet out here kind of sucks. So I think I need to go this way. This is where I need to go. I'm not done. I still got a whole handful of freaking flowers left, and I still got the rest of today and the better part of tomorrow. Actually, I got all day tomorrow. All day tomorrow just to put up flowers. Pepper this town with flowers from one end to another end. I even got flowers out in the country. Boo-boo, you guys want to tear down flowers now? You guys are going to be working a while, because Bullhorn Betty works circles around y'all, period. So get to cracking. You gonna need it. I got to meet with Crimecast, Mr. and Mrs. Crimecast. And after that, it was a very delightful day. It was a very delightful day with both of them. I love always meeting people, getting a good insight, a little bearing, because you know, they live here, right? They live around here, and so it was great. I got to go to a very unique coffee shop that was very enjoyable. And then as soon as I left them, I got right to work. I left, and before I even met with them, because I was just coming from Enoch, I told them I was going to be dragging for about 10 or 15 minutes, and I peppered that whole area that I was at before I left. And then I just came over here. You know my strategy. I always like them seeing everywhere they turn. Want them to know we're here. We're still searching for their son. We're still searching for their son. People, you guys missed it. You may have to go back to the beginning and do a replay. We've been out, we as the coffee club, which means me, just to let you know. I just worked my ass off in my crystal clear shirt in Chris's freaking neighborhood. In Chris's neighborhood. I didn't talk to nobody. I didn't harass nobody, which I'm not, it's not harassing. I'm media. I go knock on people's door and say, hey, would you like to talk to me? They say no, I walk away. That's not called harassment. Protesting is not harassment. It's actually protected under the Constitution of the United States of America. Print out a couple flyers, go put them on your poles across your street and in front of your home. You know, that's something everybody can do. It's something everybody can do. But we peppered. I still have a lot of flyers left, which means I still got I still got a whole nother day worth of work. I'm down about half of my flyers. I went through half of my flyers all by my little self. So Chris must have been passing around that he was asleep in his crane at 5:15 in the morning. That's the only thing I can think of, because I don't know how that rumor got passed around. Either way, it doesn't sound like Chris was at work at 5:15 in the morning. And so we can ixnay that until credible information comes is surface that gives that more plausibility. That has to be removed. Chris, there's nothing that I can see. There's nobody that saw him. There's nobody I can speak to. There's nobody that can tell me that Chris Proudfoot was at work at 5:15. The only number I get is around 7. So I don't know. We're going to put 7 o'clock. That's what all the information leads us to believe, that he has to be at work by 7. Why would that day be any different? So as far as I'm concerned, he may have came into work late. I heard that there was a safety meeting that morning. And that safety meeting wasn't even over for a little bit. So I get mixed information. You know, the totes, you should get them from Sonia. This is mine. Silence is an answer to Bullhorn Betty. And so I had that, and I had my papers in there, and then of course I had my staple gun. I got a Mac Daddy staple gun. Like boom boom. Boom, 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 boom. I wish it was electric though. I do, because it hurts the hands. You know what I'm saying? Like it hurts the hands. So, you know, but we got them. We got them. And I think literally have Sumner County from the countryside of Sumner County to Gallatin, the countryside of Gallatin to the mainland of Gallatin. Those have it. I didn't get Main Street in Gallatin yet. I might do that tomorrow. And then I just peppered all up and down the area where ground zero is, where Sebastian actually physically went missing from. I felt that area really needed to be, you know, that's ground zero. That's where he went missing from. So he would probably be the closest to that point there. So I made sure we got a lot of extra flyers in and around that area, so everybody knows that there's a missing boy. That's all. Just saying. It went from a community that didn't know they had a missing child to a community that now is fully aware that there is a missing child. Every place that I put these signs, it's going to take them a long while to get to all these signs to tear them down this time. I will tell you that. But I'll be back, and you know, after this, I'll be back here in 3 weeks. And if they pull them down, guess what? They're just going right back up, because they don't understand how determined this one lady is. And if that doesn't tell you, I mean, I walked my ass off today. I will tell you that. I walked my ass off today. I recorded a little bit, but not much. I think I only recorded me putting a post. Oh, I recorded myself on my way out of Enoch, out of the Bower Sox community, put my signs up on the last pole on the way out. I did get that. I did capture that. But, you know, we did do a lot of work. I will tell you, it's hot work. It's hot work. But And I went through some staples. I had to fill the gun up quite a bit today. But I think, I don't know. I don't know. Hey, Chris, how do you like threatening me now? It must suck to threaten somebody and tell them you're going to run them over, and then they come right outside of your fucking house and put, excuse my language, Sonia, and the rest of my Christian people in here, but come outside of your house and post a flyer right outside of your house. Hmm? How do you like me now, Chris? You want to threaten me now? Hmm? Because you had me right there. Just saying. You know, if you want to flap those gums. That must suck. Next time, don't freaking threaten me. I might have been a little kinder. I'll be back. I'll be back. I ain't bothering nobody, and they can't stop me. I'm on public property. I literally say nothing to no one. I get it. I do my job, and there's not one person in that community that can say anything other than I work very, very hard. I work very, very hard. Because they just watch me walk a whole entire mile down in ditches to post these damn flyers. Ain't nobody can say nothing. Nothing. But, whew. Are you going to drive back through tomorrow and see the fly? Oh, yeah. I really don't care. I mean, if the flyers are up or not, it doesn't matter. If they come down, somebody's going to be releasing a video. I will tell you that. People in that community will release the video of whoever's taking those flyers down. For the cost of the teddy bear, for Sebastian, we love Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers. Okay, yeah, I'll go to Walmart. I'll go to Walmart tonight and get the teddy bear, and then I've got the zip ties here, so I'll zip tie it. You know, I don't know how long they'll let it stay up there, but I'll definitely record doing it, and at least you know that it's done, that I did it. But yeah, I'll get a teddy bear. I'll get a teddy bear. Give me just a second. Let's go Texas Roadhouse. We're going to put some signs up around there. I want to make sure that when they go to Texas Roadhouse, they know. I kind of went dark so I could get the post. I didn't want to bring it too much attention to myself. So I wanted to get into the community and wanted to get out. I knew it was going to take a while because you can't, there's no easy way to post on every single post, okay? There's no easy way to do that job other than just do it. So that's kind of where we were. We were just in a situation where I just needed to get that done. But we're going to Texas Roadhouse. I want to make sure wherever these people turn, wherever they go, that they see their son / stepson. I don't want to call. I think Chris is just a piece of. He doesn't deserve a dad title. He just doesn't. Probably not going to eat at the restaurant, but I'm going to see what polls I can post on, and I'm going to post that whole area, because obviously they were frequent flyers over there at the Texas Roadhouse. If people are in this area and they're watching me, and you know Chris and Katie, or you know where they like to hang out, please let me know. You know, if they had a favorite, obviously they both like to drink. They had to have both gone out somewhere and enjoyed cocktails when their son was at Seth's house. There's something that they had to enjoy doing together, I would presume. You know, that they, when Sebastian was at Seth's, that they would be, you know, having date night or something, you know, going and hanging out with friends, you know, letting their hair hang down like normal, you know, normal parents. They let their hair hang down after, you know, especially if they have like a blended family and the kids get to go over to the step parent or the other parents for the time being. You know, they get to do stuff that they don't normally get to do with the children. I mean, it's not just whether your child has, you know, some disabilities or not, just for any parent. So, there's only 2 areas that I wanted to make sure were covered really, really, really well. And that was Stafford and Enoch. Those were the 2 areas I wanted to cover well. Those were the 2 areas that Sebastian went to the most. Those are the 2 areas that people should be well aware. Why am I doing all this? Because Sebastian was left in their custody, and he disappeared while in their custody under what I would presume as suspicious circumstances, seeing how nobody has proof that he walked out the door. And nobody clearly saw him walk out the door. So it makes it quite difficult. We're 6 minutes out. But I hope you guys are at least pleased with the work that we were able to accomplish today. You know, we don't really, it's hard It's hard when we're out here in this heat, but it's a labor of love that needs to be done. Sebastian needs to be found. Pressure needs to be applied. You know, reasonable pressure, not illegal pressure. You know, that's that. I gotta say that because these people, they don't get it. They don't understand. They're dense in the head. It's just out posting a lot of flyers for Sebastian Rogers on all the polls in and around the places that he is well known. So he saw Enoch. So Enoch is where Kathy and Terry Bowersox lives, and obviously the Stafford area is where he actually disappeared from. There were no signs in front of the school. There were no signs on any poles or posts in front of the school. There was one sign at the fire department, and there's one sign in front of Katie and Chris's house that's really, really small and hard to see. And then, of course, I go and peppered every single one of the polls so the community knows there is a missing child. This playtime's over. A child's been missing entirely too long. We, the public, know what the statistics are. We, the public, know that the statistics are very grim in a case like this. We know that. We are holding hope for a 1% chance. We need help. The community needs to stand up and speak up. You need to rise up, put your big girl and big boy pants on. If you haven't come forward to law enforcement, come forward. If you know something about this boy, speak it. If you haven't told law enforcement, do it. This is not fair. It's not fair to that boy. It's not fair to the family that loves him and cares for him and wants to be around him. Somebody knows something more than the Bowersox and the Proudfoots. And I need to find the human inside of you. Inside of that scared being of not wanting to be the bad guy, not wanting to be involved, not wanting to get messy, right? Life's messy. Sometimes we have to do the right thing because it's the right thing to do, not because it's easy. Sometimes it's the hardest thing we have to ever do in our life is the right thing. Look at this boy. They can come out here and rip them off. I really don't care. I'll go buy a $50 steak. That should buy us at least 24 hours. And I'm sure they're probably already got people calling and tattling. I just want to let you know, if anybody calls the freaking cops, you're wasting law enforcement resources. And we will call you out. Oh, this is hilarious. How you doing, officer? That's me. All right, I have a funny feeling this officer's coming to talk to me. I just saw him. Yeah, that's him. Well, at least law enforcement here in Tennessee is pretty good. But I can tell you that they did tell me that there were people calling in because of my peppering. There was only one person as he was riding through that said I stepped on property. I did not. I told him where I posted. He goes, what did you do? And I said, well, I pull my car up, I stop, I get out, I go to the post, I post the sign, I get back at the car, go to the next post, get out, post the sign, get back in the car, go out. And he goes, so you didn't go in the prop? I said, no. I said, I went up to, I said, I barely was on, I stretched, like I would be on the, like foot on the public easement and post on the sign. And so that's what we did. And so I've got that on camera, and so no harm, no foul, right? People lied. I don't understand why people have to constantly be utilizing law enforcement resources. Law enforcement resources that need to be out there searching because I'm posting flyers. You guys hear how stupid that is? And then you guys just wasted an hour of this man's time. It ain't gonna bother me. I'm done. That's exactly why I didn't go live with you guys. I can hit it and quit it. What are you gonna do now? I broke no laws, and here you are all calling law enforcement. Do you guys understand how stupid you are? I'm allowed to post flyers. There's a public easement on every property that goes up to the utility pole. I'm allowed to be in that grassy area. But idiots on here that don't know the law actually think that that's breaking the law. You guys are idiots. I'm allowed to post signs. These on utility posts. What did we do? We posted signs on utility posts. And whatever person out there in that community, please go pull your camera and give it to law enforcement since you think I violated the law, so they can see me going on public easement. Please, that would be great. But no, I didn't get a ticket, didn't get a warning. He just wanted to talk to me. I told him exactly what was going on yet again. I told him how Cluminante and the Proudfoots are constantly harassing me and have me under surveillance. So that is now yet in another report. So if you guys want to keep going, go ahead. That's 3 reports now with their name in it because they won't leave me alone. Yeah.
Okay guys, so I'm just going to pop in really quick here. So we'll go over a brief timeline of the video. So we watched JLR get accosted in the street by the Bower Sox on March 28th, 2024. April 25th, 2024, Pascal talks about it. Now, Pascal and Seth were very close in the beginning. Pascal has his show where he does a call-in. Seth called into his show very early on. I'm going to go over those interviews as well. I'm peppering them in, actually, to part 5. Still working on part 5. June 25th, 2024 is when BHB is being talked to by police for, I guess, passing out flyers, possibly her not staying on the public easements when she was stapling. I think she's a little bit smarter than that, and I think that what she was doing was very tactful, and so she definitely wanted the presence to be known. She wanted to stay within the law. However, her mouth, and I have a mouth on me too, so I'm not saying that, but sometimes our mouths can get us in really big trouble, and some of the things that she says as she's going to be getting worked up, and as you will see here, it's a lot for one day. She's been out in the heat. Obviously, we're not going to be in the best mood if we're working all day in the heat, dealing with the stress. Now, prior to this, she was getting threats. So, Chris Proudfoot actually threatened her first, and he did that with Cluminante, and somebody else played it, and then I played it from BHB. So you have to kind of listen closely, but he does that really nasty, creepy voice in it, and he does the whole go balls, and they speak about the corruption. We watched that. He definitely threatened her first and used that nasty voice he likes to do when he wants to creep women out. She also drove to Memphis, so she arrived June 23rd, 2024. At some point, I'm not sure when, but she drove to Memphis and she went to St. Jude Project that Chris was working on, and he was upset about that, and that's why he was threatening her first. I know, again, that there's been a lot of back and forth. There's a lot of frustration because Sebastian is still missing. I did point a couple of things out that I just didn't agree with, and I kind of put my own commentary within the video. But another thing I found interesting was that Betty was also questioning Chris's alibi, and so originally Heather and Chloe PI came out and said that Chris was verified to be at the campgrounds the night before around 8 p.m. and then again he was seen at work the next day at 5:15 a.m. But as we just watched, she was questioning his alibi and saying that if work starts every day at 7 a.m., it's not probable that Chris would show up at 5:15 a.m. And like she said, what was different about that day? It makes sense, and it makes me wonder, was it 5:15 a.m. or was it 7 a.m.? And if he did get there early, it's a legitimate question, not being accusatory, but why did you get there so early? Did you always like to show up an hour and 45 minutes early for work? Just a question. I believe that probably ruffled his feathers a little bit too, because mind you, she did travel from Sebastian's neighborhood to Texas Roadhouse, which is about 15 minutes depending on which route you take. Whoever called on BHB had to have been watching her live and then called the police and told them she was at Texas Roadhouse. Oh boy, here she comes. Let's watch.
Thank you. Thank you. So he tells me Jonathan's, he says Texas Roadhouse and Jonathan's are pretty good. So there you have it. Bullhorn Betty's going to jail. 101. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to be recording every damn thing, so you bitches can't call law on me no more. No more. Wasting law enforcement time. An hour of that man's time. It didn't take any hair off my bootay. But you guys wasted an hour of law enforcement's time. Anybody that's bragging about calling law enforcement, you guys need to dog the shit out of them for wasting taxpayer resources in a criminal investigation when they're searching for a little boy. They got them searching for Bullhorn Betty for posting some damn signs on post. Because these hate channels had to call little old bitches crying and whining. Can't believe Betty's out there. She's so mean. Yes, I am. And I'm going to be peppering some more. The worst thing that's going to happen to me is I'm going to get a ticket. You understand that? You wasting people's time for a freaking ticket that my audience is going to end up gladly paying for. Believe that. Believe that. My audience will pay for my ticket. It's not coming out. You guys are idiots. Just stupid. I hate, like, these people. Like, they don't want this boy found. They don't want this boy found. Cluminante, Queen Bee, the Proudfoots, they don't want this boy found. All they're looking for is either to go to jail or put me in jail, but they're going to be in jail before I am. I can guarantee that with the way they're going. So, it is what it is. Bullhorn Betty didn't even get a warning. I did nothing wrong. Nothing. Dum-dums. Again, not breaking the law. Dum-dums. Little whiny man. Little whiny man. Doesn't want his son, his stepson found, does he? Wants to threaten a little girl, a little 5'1", 135-pound little girl. You want to intimidate me and tell me I need to watch where I go. Well, I just watched where I go, sir. I just watched where I go. What you gonna do, sir? I didn't step on your property other than to put a missing person flyer on your post, dum-dum. Oh, I had this shirt on all day. I passed around a few more for some people in his community. Gave some shirts away. Seth gave me some bands, so I've been handing bands away. I've been handing bands away. I actually got rid of signs. He gave me signs. I got 2 signs left. I got 2 signs left. He handed me a shit ton of flowers. I got half of the flowers left. Don't tell me Bullhorn Betty doesn't come in here and kick ass. I've been working my ass off in this freaking 99-degree heat while these boo-boos have been sitting at home trying to follow me, trying to figure out what I'm doing, and then wants to call the law on me for advocating for a little boy. That's some bullshit right there. So whoever's bragging about this, y'all dog the crap out of them. Drag them for a fool. Because what a waste of resources. And you know who has to pay for this? This community. But they've been sitting here threatening me for days. You guys have watched it. I haven't threatened them not one time. Now they got cops being called on me. And didn't we hear Queen Bee asking for cops to be called on me yet again? Didn't we hear her say that on her live? I need somebody to clip that and pull the transcript of that for me and send it to me at bullhornbetty@gmail.com. Because the cops were just called. And so that is going to be used against her. Because what I'm going to end up doing is pulling public records. And whoever is sitting here stalking me and harassing me, I will come into your community and file a restraining order on you, and then after that, I will be filing a lawsuit on you. I'm getting over and done with this. If you guys want to sit here and play these stupid games, and you think that you guys can keep getting away with it, then I will start bringing you guys to court. Because let me tell you, it doesn't really matter. I'm Bullhorn Betty, okay? If I want to go and get a ticket, hell, I'll even go to this clink clink for some stupid bullshit when it comes to advocating for children. I will literally freaking chain myself to a post and have them cut the chains off me and drag my ass to jail and be processed within 24 hours if I so need to. I'm an advocate and an activist and covered by media when I cover these cases. The Constitution is where I derive my law. Hate channels. Calling law enforcement on Bullhorn Betty for posting flyers. I want you guys to tell them how disgusting and nasty and horrible and evil they are. You know who is causing all the threats in this community for people searching? Chris and Katie Proudfoot and their cohorts. That, my friend, is who is threatening the people of this community that come in. They threatened me. They threatened me. Oh, Terry Bowersocks. Oh, you wanna come around here? Oh, look at who it is. It's Terry Bowersocks. Look who just pulled up in the same QX80. Coming up, taking my tag plate. Let's turn it around on his tag plate. Terry Bowersocks. Terry Bowersocks right there. Came up and decided to take my plate on. So you want to know who's harassing who out here? The proof is in the pudding. The Bowersocks and the Proudfoots are the ones coming and harassing people. That right there, my friend, is Terry Bowersocks. Came by and took a picture. Why are you taking my license plate?
Why are you filming me?
Because you came by and filmed me, Mr. Bowersocks.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I'm in a public place.
Yes,
why are you harassing me and following me?
Why
are you harassing me and following me when I'm conducting business?
How can I be following you when
You
you're
just were
me?
in the plaza. You've been following me,
I was
sir.
shopping
You
over
guys
here.
have been harassing me and threatening me for 2 days.
Prove it.
I am. Right here, sir. Right here, sir. Prove it? Yeah. I did just prove it, asshole. Better go through that fucking light. Fuck with me. I don't need violence. I will capture you on film. Prove it? There it is. Who's following? Who's stalking? Who's harassing? Who? The proof is in the pudding. The proof is in the pudding. Now you want to know who it is? I expose a lot of shit. It's the Proudfoots and the Bowersocks harassing people, hunting them down like rabid animals. He He was scared. He got caught with his pants down. I told you it was them. I told you, I told you, I told you. Told you so. Ugh. I am so angry right now. Holy shit. Now, you guys got yourself a lawsuit, Mr. Bower Socks. You want to harass me? You want to stalk me? I'm putting a stop to that shit. Believe that. Believe that, Mr. Bower Socks. Believe that. Literally stalking me, calling my, trust me, Tim Bailey's hearing this shit. Somebody click that and send that to Sumner County. Seth, if you're still in here, you saw it with your own eyes. You want to know who's been harassing your searchers? You just seen it. You want to know why you can't get nobody out here to help you? You just seen it. Prove it? You literally told me to prove it while you're on my camera stalking me. I'm going to ask you, what do you think your law enforcement is going to do when you piss me the fuck off? And it goes for the Bower Socks and the Proudfoots. When I bring the shit show to your town. I'm just asking. Because I've been very calm. I've been very courteous. I've been trying to do my job without making a ruckus. But if you wanna push me, honey, I'll come back with a whole kind of ruckus that you guys would not even know what to do with, and your law enforcement will not be able to stop.
Who that dude? He got his mullet on fleek, right? Look at that mullet. That's a shiny ass mullet too. He greased the back up with a pork chop. I hope that mullet ain't on trial, right? Mullet was CP. Was that the CP mullet? Was that CP with the mullet? I don't think that's CP. All right. I don't think CP has a mullet. I don't think they're going to let him rock that mullet at the, operating that crane. It could be dangerous. It could get caught up in some of the wiring of the crane, and next thing you know, snatch his scalp off. Okay. We don't want that. Right? Look at that mullet. That's a shiny ass mullet too. He greased the back up with a pork chop.
And I'll set this matter for hearing. On October the 23rd.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Now that takes care of the criminal matter. Now, as to the issues before the court, there is pending a Rule 60.02 motion filed by the defendant, Mr. Griffin, in these order of protection hearings as it relates to the order of protection on Terry Bower Socks Sr., Maddie Bower Socks, and Katie Lynn Proudfoot. The matter pending is still pending with Christopher Proudfoot.
Your Honor, our Rule 60 was intended to cover all of those orders of protection.
There's 4 of them that are listed there.
Thank you.
If not, they're all listed on the sheet. The only issue is the matter regarding Christopher Proudfoot is still an ex parte order, as it's never had a hearing on that day. And so any motion to reconsider or set that aside would be premature, because we've never had an issue. It's never been, we've not had a hearing on that matter. It was set for last Thursday, and it was continued on to this Thursday. So that Rule 60.02 motion to reconsider judgments as to Mr. Proudfoot is hereby denied, because that is premature in its filing. And so, Mr. Frizzell, if you'll do an order as it relates to Christopher Proudfoot, I think his case is case number 3893, 2024 civil, because it's premature at this time. Also in front of me is the state's motion to clarify the intent of the order of protection. The order of protection speaks for itself. It's pretty plain in its language, but it covers what it doesn't cover. Mr. Frizzell, you had, in full disclosure, I met with counsel for Ms. Griffin for the state of Tennessee, and for the Bowersox, and Ms. Proudfoot in chambers before coming out. The parties have asked this court to set this matter to a hearing date separately than from today. You know, in my consideration, I will grant this continuance, but it's only going to be for a short period of time because we have order protections involved. These order protections that are filed are in effect, as the court sees them, they're in effect currently as except to Mr. Proudfoot's, which is an ex parte, and it remains in effect as an ex parte until we have a hearing on all of these matters at the same time. Council will get their calendars out. Mr. Moore, are you going to represent, you and Mr. Kowski going to represent the Bowersox and the Proudfoots, or just one party?
Your Honor, I think we can do both because it does seem to be the same.
You're going to represent all four parties then? There's four different orders of protection. There's one that's been granted for Terry Bowersox, Senior, Maddie Bowersox, Katie Proudfoot. The only one that has not been hurt yet is Christopher A. Proudfoot, and that was set, and I'll set that for a hearing on the same day that we take all these up at the same time.
Yes, Your Honor. I believe it was our agreement with the Proudfoots. We represent Katie Proudfoot and Christopher Proudfoot, and we can certainly talk to them about potentially representing the Bowersox if they need representation, but as it stands right now,
okay,
it's the Proudfoots.
I just want to make sure that's clear for the record of who your clients are.
Thank you, Your Honor.
I don't want to address you in matters regarding the Bowersox if you're not representing them. Council, if you'll check your calendars for October the 10th.
I'm open, Your Honor.
State.
Judge, I may potentially be at a jury trial that day, but if not, I can be there.
I'm going to set it for the 10th. Mr. Moore, are you available that day?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. I'm going to set this matter. I have orders protection that morning set on my civil docket that morning anyhow. What I'll do is tentatively set this for 11 o'clock on October the 10th, and we'll address all the issues that are outstanding in this matter. Ms. Griffin, until then, the order protections as it relates to Mr. Bowersox, Ms. Bowersox, and Ms. Proudfoot are in effect and the ex parte order is in effect as it relates to Mr. Proudfoot. The difference is the penalties, if you violate those, are different for one having been ordered and one that is an ex parte. Those are the differences between those. Any other matters we need to take up, Council? From the state?
Yes.
All right.
Your Honor, we would simply ask that the copy of the statute we provided to the court be entered into the record.
If you're going to file any, are you anticipating filing any other matters? Just include that with what you're going to file. That way it's in the record. What you provide me back in chambers is not adequate.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Attached back into this file. So
thank you.
Do that. And anything, Mr. Moore, if you intend to file on anything in the state, I would ask that you all, if you have any motions that you're going to file, please have them filed by Monday, September 30th at noon.
Yes, Your Honor.
And if you'll also include that in that order, Mr. Frizzell, for the court signature, and make sure that all the parties are served. That'll be your order of the court.
Thank you, Your Honor. The date again in September for the motions to be filed.
September 30th, Monday, September 30th at 9 o'clock for the motions. And then we'll have a hearing beginning at 11, as close as possible, beginning at 11. It depends on how the morning goes with the order of protections that morning, how many I have and how many hearings we have on those.
Thank you, Judge.
Right, thank you.
May we be excused, Your Honor.
May.
And a missing boy's parents appearing in court today, but it did not bring them any closer to finding their son. Sebastian Rogers disappeared from Hendersonville back in February. His family was in the courtroom today for a YouTuber accused of harassing and stalking Sebastian's mother and step-grandparents. Now, an order of protection banned Andra Griffin who's also known as Bullhorn Betty, from having any sort of contact with the family, directly or indirectly. Court documents also claim she violated that. News 2's Caitlin Quisenberry was in the Sumner County courtroom to try to get both sides of this story.
Sebastian Rogers' mother, stepfather, and step-grandparents have largely remained out of the media, but they claim Bullhorn Betty has stalked and harassed them. The courtroom was split today into two sides. The YouTuber and Sebastian's father, Seth, sat on one side. His mom, Katie, stepfather, Chris, and step-grandparents were on the other side. Court documents claim Bullhorn Betty violated the order of protection by mentioning the family on a live stream. The brief hearing ended with the judge saying the matters would be heard on October 10th. Hearing ended with the judge saying the matters would be heard on October 10th. Seth Rogers tells me it was frustrating to sit in a courtroom while his son is still missing.
It is extremely frustrating that I have to come here to support somebody, which I don't mind coming to support somebody that's supporting my goal of finding my son. But the fact that I have to come here because four people, want to put restraining order against somebody who's just trying to find my son, and yet Sebastian is supposed to be her son as well.
Seth added that he believes Andra is only exercising her First Amendment right and has not done anything illegal. I also spoke with Sebastian's stepfather, Chris Proudfoot, who says he has no comment at this time. In Gallatin, Caitlin Quisenberry, News 2.
All right, guys, so let's go ahead and unpack what happened in the courtroom. In the beginning of the video, I hear the judge say that there is a hearing set for October 23rd. And then later on in the video, they talk about how they are going to have another hearing pertaining to all four orders of protection against Christopher Proudfoot, Katie Proudfoot, Kathy Bowersox, and Terry Bowersox on October 10th, 2024. So we'll definitely keep our eyes peeled for that. Now, in Tennessee, it seems like they have different levels of protection orders. So ex partes is what we have in Missouri. I have had the displeasure of having firsthand knowledge when it comes to obtaining a restraining order, order of protection, ex parte. So for all intents and purposes, we'll just call it an order of protection. So that way it kind of blankets in all of that. The judge did grant a temporary ex parte for Chris Proudfoot, and they will reconvene on October 10th. When these protection orders were filed, there was a court date, and this court date was missed by BHB. Whether her lawyer was representing her and he showed, but she didn't. I think that whenever you are in a position where you're being accused of something, you should always show up to your court date, because it makes you look guilty. It also makes you look like you don't care, like it doesn't really matter to you whether the order goes through or not. I know that here in Missouri, if I file an order, I have to produce evidence of violence or of stalking, harassing behaviors on the part of whoever I'm trying to get the order of protection from. When you do that, it's presented to a judge and they will give you a court date, and they will either give you a temporary ex parte, or they will give you a court date. Sometimes they will deny the ex parte, and then you'll have to go into court and present your case in person. And so it's always very important to show up, especially if you are on the receiving end of the ex parte. So if it's being taken out on you and someone's trying to get protection from you, you should definitely show up. Now, there are instances, and I do believe this is one of them, there hasn't been very much evidence that is supporting evidence for Katie, Chris, and the Bowersox to want to obtain these protection orders. We haven't seen that in the public eye, and hopefully we will on October 10th. I do believe that Chris and Katie are playing the system. I believe that because Chris has done this before, he's playing Nina through the system. He's playing his daughter through the system more so than anyone. He's playing her, and she does not deserve that. And Nina doesn't deserve the stress of being taken back and forth to court. And if Chris doesn't like what is said about him or Katie or anything really, then he doesn't have to tune in. You have to actually search out a channel and search for the information. And that's why a lot of times it takes me forever to do these videos, because I have to search out information from all these different sources, because they've made it an absolute shit show. When someone's actually in a different state than you, I don't understand why you would need to take them back and forth to court. I don't understand why you would pay for an entire team of lawyers for a case like this. Because of my past, as I said, I have had to take out a couple orders like this, and I'm here to tell you, people like Chris are very retaliatory. They will keep fighting with you. Like I said before, he'd fight with a fence post. He's that type of a person that, if you decide to cross him or if you upset him, he's going to throw a full-on temper tantrum. And then we have Katie, who is Sebastian's biological mother, who decides that she's going to hold a grudge against Seth and act like a little princess. If she was so afraid of BHB, then why did she even show her ass to court? Honestly, when I saw her sitting there, I'm like, are you freaking kidding me? So you gotta come to court, put a bunch of makeup on for the cameras, and act like you're afraid of Bullhorn Betty, but you're sitting there acting like cool as a cucumber. It's all very odd. And then we have the kiss that I slowed down in the video. Chris and Katie have this kiss at the end, and it's of court. And it's really weird, because it's like Chris won his case. He has that order of protection now, too. It's not like it was Katie who was scared to death. She already has one. So why did he feel the need to draw all of that attention to himself? Oh yeah, because he's a narcissist. It's always amazing to me when people like Chris and Katie play the victim, when you have a child who's 15 years old, who was supposed to be their child, stepchild. No reward fund would ever come about for a runaway. And it doesn't even sink into you guys, but you're willing to go to court and play the victim. Who really needed a restraining order, Katie? Probably Sebastian. I'm going to go with probably Sebastian, allegedly. And it's so cute how you think that Sebastian's fears are funny, but you act like your fears have to go to court with an entire team of lawyers. Can we say superiority complex? Well, Katie, my question to you is, if you are so worried, and you guys were so worried about BHB, well, guess what? Now she's taken care of. Are you going to go find your son? Are you going to even try to find your son? Are you going to decide to put flyers up in your area on Saturday, September 14th? Are you? Because now you don't have to worry about big bad BHB. So what are you going to do? Get off your big fat rumps and do something. That's what you need to be doing. Instead of causing trouble, playing around on YouTube. Because there was far too many YouTubers in the courtroom. Cluminante and her husband. I mean, I get if you're friends, that's completely okay. I get moral support, totally. But honestly, go find your friggin' son. I'm just really glad that we got a good look at you guys, because you guys looked a lot different yesterday, and I'm really glad that we got a good look at you and how you look right now, because it's kind of odd how you guys like to change your appearance. And I get packing on the weight, but, you know, get out there and walk a little bit. Walk and find your son. On a more lighthearted note, Seth, for such a big hat, I have so little words. But I hope that you keep a stiff upper lip and you keep looking for Sebastian, doing what's right for him. Keep up with the vigils, and we'll still keep up with keeping his face out there, and that's the least that we can do. I'm really sorry that you have to go through this, and I'm sorry that so many people that have tried to look for Sebastian have been hindered. Well, guys, that's all I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed this raw narrative. I will be working on getting part 5 out, and I hope you all stay safe out there. I hope that you all will turn out for the search. I hope that we can put out some flyers in our own areas, in our own hometowns, spread awareness for Sebastian. It seems to me that the Proudfeet don't mind if flyers are posted throughout other areas, but they do get their panties in a twist when people are posting flyers near their home. Just a final thought. Oh, and real quick, a shout out to Dolly at Dolly Vision. He had me cracking up. I had to use his segment. I was watching his live whenever they were playing the court footage. I'm glad you're doing well now. Again, I love you all so much. All of you, please take care out there and post something for Sebastian today. It's 199 days.
I get Biggie Diggy Roll.